I would say that, yeah, it pretty much is as it was before. Nothing really major has changed.
Okay. Then yeah, it would be located far up the river.
Yeah, and I'll get the final map and I'll show it to Lucius and let he'd actually know these areas pretty well, right?
And then Lucius furiously draws dicks all over it. Actually, I don't think Lucius has ever been over there. Is my understanding.
Really? Lucius is from this part of the.
Okay.
From this side
Oh,
of the
that's
world.
right. Yeah, there was a colony over here because of the teleport circle. That's right.
Yep.
So Lucius has cousins that he's never met.
All right, so you guys
A
take
little
your
bit.
2 map, and then you clap Seeker in irons and drag him away.
Just literally pick him up. He's
stick him
very
in the-
tired, so it's very easy.
I just put him directly on top of Scrappy.
Just put. I thought I had Scrappy. Put him in the bag of holding.
He's still shouting questions at the tower as you guys are leaving.
Hey, how do you feel, Seeker? You got to answer one of the questions that you came to. You know what the big stupid tower is now.
Uh-huh.
Yeah. Does that make you feel good?
Yes.
Regrettably,
It all makes me feel good.
Regrettably, this leads us to a problem, though, is how do we convince our patron that this is somehow related to our hunt for
This is
his
incredibly related.
It is.
for
There
his
was.
bloodline?
So
Yeah,
first,
Alexander is a good point. The
the-
gap in knowledge
Yeah.
itself is very poignant and relevant.
that's
It means it's deliberate.
yeah. There's a deliberate conspiracy to obscure what happened to.
Held up sister.
Yeah.
It would have to have been by the founders themselves in that case, if that's the case.
I was.
Which means that Eldav was hiding his own because.
It also, and perhaps this is unscrupulous for us to say, but it also throws suspicion on Corio himself.
I'm sorry. Have you ever not been suspicious of Corio?
Oh, absolutely suspicious of the man who's got us by the short
In a
hairs for 30,000
particularly new
gold.
dimension, though,
To be clear,
there's a now nefarious undertone as opposed to the simple charlatanism.
we have found 2 things also, which we can tell Corio. We have found a map to where we might find more information, and 2, we have found that location is so far away that if someone did not have a map, there would be nothing to disprove that he was a member of the Fireblood House within thousands of miles.
The thing that irritates me most about this whole thing, guys, is that because of the obvious conspiracy to conceal information about Eldub's sister, it actually raises the chances that Corio is in fact a Fireblood, and this makes me irrationally angry. Of course,
I'm sorry.
I mean,
Is there
if he is, then that makes our life a lot easier.
there some-
honestly.
particular reason you trusted the descendant of a godlike dragon sorcerer who has unlimited amounts of money and we have no background on?
yeah.
Ever seen actually use magic?
I mean, on the other hand, this also increases the chance that I or Florian are descendants of Elda Fireblood.
Oh, we didn't ask him about Corio.
We did. He said he didn't have any information.
Oh, okay.
I don't
That's
recall
right.
anybody asking specifically about Corio.
It's Seeker immediately goes back on the floor, goes back on the elevator. I'm gonna cost him.
Corio Fireblood is not known to him. He did specify he didn't know anything about. Well, he called the last Fireblood. He referred to Eldov.
Right.
Okay, thank you.
So you guys reconvene with Vladislav, and you're ready to travel north again after. On the 3rd day.
After about like 12 more hours of trying to pull Seeker out of that tower.
That's not the first we forgot to ask about that we have to deal with.
You guys are going to owe dues when you get home.
This is where we find we've been gone for like 6 years, and we owe like 6 years of dues.
You come back. So let's talk about the knowledge that you've actually retained. As you, are we heading back to Dunfoss? Is that the plan?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. So leaving out Are you traveling overland or by boat?
I think we head back by boat.
Did
Or
we-
I guess-
I guess.
Did we still have the boat on? Yeah, whatever's
We can
quickest.
hire a boat when we get there.
Yeah, it's just
Yeah.
whatever's quickest.
You don't
So
have a
we're gonna-
boat. You'll have to book
Right.
passage along a boat that's going up to Dunfoss.
We've got
Yeah.
petty cash.
We
Okay.
actually do.
Much of your memory of interaction with the Aptononochregon as you leave the woods does fade. You have vague memories that you spoke with some sort of bizarre, infinitely knowledgeable construct-like being. You have knowledge of the mazes and the puzzles, and you retain the knowledge of how to solve the final puzzle in order to gain access if you were to return.
What about my list of portals and maps that I keep in my trenchcoat pocket?
The maps are altered in a way that you have no knowledge that they ever were altered.
Mhm.
So you have a map of Romneus showing Kiska and the river up to Udok's Manor, and several dotted around ruined keeps, thought to be old strongholds of the Sorcerer Kings, but nothing about the location of the Aptononochregon there, nor the location of Kefos's keep.
That's all. I guess maybe Lucius, we must have wanted a map of your homeland.
The other
Do
map
you
you
need
have
one?
is accurate as far as you know,
Mhm.
and it marks something a couple 100 miles offshore out into the ocean, but you're not sure what.
Mhm.
The only thing that makes sense is an island, but you're not aware of any islands in that region. The list of portals that you listed mostly lists Fey crossings
Yep, those are their separate pages. I have those just in my pack.
and one door to Sigil
Okay.
in Blue Worm from the Cathedral Gardens.
Okay.
On a separate sheet of paper.
The vortex is gone then too, right? So yeah, it's literally a separate sheet of paper. I mean, this is
There's
the
one
only one
line
we
on
could
it.
have obviously used. Like the Fey
So-
crossings, I'm just gonna bring back to Yalari and see if that
So-
doesn't get me out of dues for a couple of weeks.
Oh, we forgot to ask about evil artifacts.
No, and I'm going to grab. I'm going to just pick Seeker up by the scruff of his neck and just like carry him like a cat for like half a mile until
Everything
he quits kicking.
relating to Eldov and the Founders and the Firebloods you have retained, as well as all of your experiences in Bicklebell House and the various conversations you had about fiends and other kind of historical data and curiosity. But the specific knowledge of some of the portals and of the Aptononochregon itself slips away.
Mhm. Do we still have? So we know that this thing is here. Do we retain the knowledge of that? There's another one, even if it's not necessarily there, on the other side of the ocean.
So it's weird because you retain the knowledge that you were told you would not retain all the knowledge you gained there. But you still know where you left from. You still know how to find the tower, and you still know how to get inside.
Okay. The reason I ask is like, do we know that there is another entrance to this tower? Basically, the I'm not going to even try to say it anymore. Do we know there's another entrance on the other side of the ocean?
No, because that
Okay.
map has been altered after you leave.
Gotcha.
Yeah, I'm gonna give that map to Lucius and assume that he wanted a map of his homelands for some reason.
Alex, check your bag of holding. 'Cause
I'll look
see
at my
if we
back.
put any information in there. Because it would only be able to get to it if it was on this plane, right?
I don't know. I mean, I don't find anything in my bag of holding.
I know, because I didn't come up with the idea before we left.
Yeah.
But Seeker right now would have assumed he would have come up with the idea, even though he didn't.
You don't
Yeah, I
remember
didn't
coming
write
up with the
it
idea.
on the inside of the bag or anything, so.
So,
What do you tell Vladislav, if anything?
absolutely nothing. I'm going to ask.
Nothing. If
Yeah.
he wanted to know what was up, he should have come with us.
Yeah. So on the way back, I'm gonna ask him if. I mean, he knows why we're here. We told him why we were doing this. We were doing
As far as I know, you only told him that you have some business here for your detective service. I think you guys very pointedly haven't told him any specifics of what you're doing.
Right. Okay. Then I'm not going to ask him anything.
Mm-hmm.
He's a mushroom. He's a mushroom.
All right, and we're going to travel back to Dunfoss by boats.
I guess the only conversation I would have with him then would be to ask him about what we should expect since we're on our way back. Like, are we going to be attacked immediately? What is this plan?
What does Scott have planned for us? When we
Yeah,
get back?
because he said that she planned a big old reunion party at one point.
Yeah, relatedly, I send a message sending to our receptionist, letting her know, hey, don't come around when we get back. There might be some stuff going down. Also, are the cops still looking for me?
Get a grunt in response.
No, as far as she knows, nobody has made major inquiries to your whereabouts since you left.
Good, great, love it.
Excellent.
So you expressed to Vladislav that you're afraid you're going to be attacked as soon as you get back into Dunfoss?
Well, I asked him. I was like, I said, "Are we what are we expecting?" Like the only thing Vladislav has told us about this, to my memory, is that Skada is preparing a surprise reunion party, and that was in a previous time loop. So this Vladislav doesn't even remember that. So this Vladislav's just being a stingy asshole and not telling us anything. Which
to be fair, we're also being stingy assholes and not telling him anything. So.
He's got well, the thing is what
Yes,
we were
but
doing.
we've also not murdered him in this timeline, so I think he
Yeah.
still owes us.
You haven't murdered him yet.
Also, you absolutely do not need to be fair to Vladislav.
And also, we didn't murder him in the previous timelines. We just got him murdered.
He indicates that it might be easier to sneak back into the city via the road rather than one of the ports.
You think so?
The reason he thinks that is because it's easier to watch comings and goings in the port than it is along the road. Because you don't have to enter the city by the road. There's lots of places where you can enter into the outskirts of the city outside the curtain wall.
We just jump ship halfway across the bay and cast water breathing.
Could do that too.
If we do that, you're scrubbing the rust off my armor.
I think Seeker is prestidigitating the rust off your armor, and any of your perishables are going in the bag.
Is that the plan? You're going to take the boat?
I think that sounds like a good plan to me.
A mile or two
Yeah,
offshore, use water breathing?
Here's my concern with that.
Here's your concern.
The ferry master who is giving us this passage will raise an alarm, tripping out because 7 of his people have just jumped overboard.
Maybe tell him you're doing it.
Yeah,
Like,
I have a second idea, which is we
that's
give him
also
a
suspicious.
gold, and then we never left.
Yeah, we
We're never on the boat at all. In fact.
Okay, sure.
I don't think we signed any contracts for this passage. I think we just paid him.
I kind of love this idea where you just book passage and halfway across, you're just like, all right, bye! Just leap off.
I mean, that's probably the best call, yeah.
Are you going to bribe him, or should I, Seeker?
Oh, I'll bribe him.
Okay.
No
It's like
bribes.
it's not even like we
Lucius,
get
if you want to fly ahead, feel free.
we get a mile out from the city and we just all right, see ya, and just scuba dive off the back and just walk along the ocean floor.
Vladislav does confirm for you, as he did in the previous timeline, that Skada has some kind of reunion party planned. How she was going to go about doing this was utilizing the third lieutenant that the Flying Pig had in Dunfoss, who you have not yet encountered.
Why do you keep calling it a reunion party? What does that mean?
He says, it is just the nature. It's just my nature to be whimsical. Gustavo.
Don't be whimsical. My name's Gustavus. Please, don't call me Gustavus.
This is Arresto in the Black Jackets.
Right.
This is the person we're gonna have to deal with.
So, don't be whimsical when people are trying to kill you. It is not good form.
Is that right in my notes?
I have Arresto Lygus.
I had the wrong last name, but okay.
I think it's actually pronounced Aristo because Arresto, like that's like a robot cop.
Yeah.
I spelled it with an O and 2 R's.
Robocop.
I have EAUX because why not?
So the thing is I was concerned that I'm glad that you do pronounce it differently because I was concerned that you were naming your magic cop Arresto.
So the plan was, and remember, this was a plan that they were leaving Vladislav out of. They were going to, because it's the nature of these warlocks to vie for as much power as they can personally control, which inevitably leads to backstabbing each other. Vladislav is the first one cut out. He's the weakest of the three, and he was known to not be willing to go as far as the flying pig would require him to go in many cases.
And this is still the man who trussed up 6 people and murdered them systematically.
Well,
Or made them as good as murdered them.
I mean, he was there.
Vladislav blames that on Skada. That was arranged by Skada, and he was told that it's possible that there would be interference, and if so, he was to deal with it. Remember, you encountered her first and fought her to a standstill.
Yeah.
Vladislav tells you, to your credit, that she was fairly shaken up from the encounter and was not looking to immediately jump back into the fray with you.
Fair enough.
The actual murder of those people, he's not saying that he wouldn't have done it if ordered. He just wasn't the one trusted with the task.
I see.
But he was entrusted by Skada to go back and oversee it when it became apparent that she didn't want a second fight so quickly with you.
So, what happens if you die? Does your soul go to the flying pig? Do you go down to the 9 hells and just spend all of eternity down there? Getting chewed on by a Rakshasa soul?
You know, I'm not looking forward to finding out.
Just wondering.
Lucius nods and says, "I'll drink to that."
So the plan was, because they were cutting him out first, so Lygus and Skada were going to use the blackjackets to apprehend some or all of you. The actual details of this reunion party she has planned, he doesn't know because he's been left out. He got the impression very quickly that once you guys were not in town anymore, they were going to eliminate him as a possible threat, which is why he skipped town very quickly and tried to pick up your trail, which he eventually did.
Okay. All right. And I'm going to put my hand on his shoulder.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm going to be like, I'm going to trust you for this. And I'm going to start squeezing.
Okay.
And squeezing harder and harder until like I'm physically hurting him. It says, if you're leading us into a trap, and I squeeze really hard, I says, I'm going to kill you first. Do you understand?
Make an intimidation check. Strength intimidation. Make this a disadvantage, because he already doesn't find you guys super intimidating as it is.
Only because we didn't beat him to death in this.
Well, he knows that he can't take you in a straight fight.
Yeah. Strength. Oh, look at that. Just throw that 20 away. Let's see. That is intimidation. So that is +7. That is a 14. Anybody? Can I get a +5 on that?
Yeah, go ahead and take a +5 on that. If you fail a saving throw and die later, don't blame me.
Yes.
He tells you that
That's
if he thought you were going to murder him, you would have done so by now.
Mm-hmm.
So he doesn't believe the threat, basically.
Oh, he doesn't believe the threat on a 19?
He thinks if you were going to kill him, you would have done so by now.
No. I'm not
At
not
this
saying
point,
that
you either think that he's in cahoots with Skada still, or you don't.
No. I'm just letting him know. I'm not trying to intimidate him.
warning.
I'm just warning him that if this is him just like actually leading us into a trap, I am going to basically look away from Scotta and then immediately go over to him to kill him first before I do anything else.
And he doesn't even flinch at the threat.
Okay.
I
just want you to know.
He's used to hearing this kind of stuff from you guys.
This is not a threat. This is just I'm just letting you know what is going to happen.
You know, every person who's ever threatened me, and I've asked them if they were threatening me, says no, they're not threatening me. I wonder if it's just the nature of threatening a person. They just don't want to admit it.
I'm not gonna lie, it sounds like a threat.
It sounds like a threat. But
Vladislav tells
speaking,
you.
At this...
Go ahead,
Okay,
Lucius.
go ahead. Well, I was going to say, strictly speaking, if we do get back into town, our place is likely being watched, whether it be by the Blackjackets and his agents, or by Scotta's people, or where the barge isn't safe right now.
Oh, undoubtedly not.
So we need to come up with a second plan.
He asks you if knowing one of Lygis's weaknesses would help.
And what's in it for you?
Because you already haven't killed me. You're already saving my life from Scotta. This is in payment for services rendered.
Very well, then.
And I must apologize, for I have lied already. Lygus has no weaknesses. This is a strength that you can possibly turn against him. He asks, what is the most powerful magic the five of you possess? This is a conversation you guys are having on the road to the port town, by the way.
Mm-hmm.
So you're having it in isolation. It's just the seven of you. If you were to kill a person between the five of you, what is the most powerful magic that you possess that could accomplish that task?
Counterspell.
Seeker.
And
I gotta look towards.
He grins broadly
Florian.
and says, "Then you and Lygus have that in common."
Lucius nods and says, "Yeah, no, I don't have that. I don't have access to that magic, but I'm pretty sure I pulled this trick on Scotta." And Lucius describes hunger of Birdie / Hadar.
Hunger of Hadar.
Yeah.
Can anybody beat Hunger of Hadar? As far as I'm going to kill you magic?
I mean, I've just basically got burning hands.
Mm-hmm.
And that's it. And well, cantrips, but that's it.
Group of level 8 wizards. We got Hunger of Hadar and Burning Hands. All right.
Magic mouth. What do you want me to say? Like I can magic.
Like
this
nobody
like,
took
like,
fireball.
Nobody
like,
has fireball. Nobody has. Okay.
No, I don't have fireball.
They don't have fire, but we've got magic.
What kind of wizards do you think we are?
No.
Adventurers.
I was very clear about what I thought would kill someone. I think I was right.
I mean, you are in a sense.
But I don't think he's speaking this philosophically. I think this is a literal do or die thing. Like, what do you use to reduce what do you do to reduce your opponent to a pile of ash?
I mean,
Alexander.
Alex just passed his gun.
Yeah, and Seeker says Alexander.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was about to say like I can cast haste on Alexander.
Seeker's thinking is very in line with Lygis's, because counterspell is his specialty. In fact, Lygus possesses several different flavors of it. He has a version of counterspell that he has developed in tandem with the flying pig that can be used not only to dissolve an enemy wizard's magic, but to turn it against them. He doesn't know that I know this, which means he doesn't know that you know this. And here's something else that I don't know, is what would happen if you attacked him with powerful magic that he knew was coming, and prepared his most powerful counterspell in advance. And then he looks at Seeker and gives you kind of an, huh?
It was counterspelled?
Exactly.
We're gonna have a counterspell battle where I counter your counter, and then I counter the counter.
And
Is that-
he warns you this could go several layers deep. And in order to win, your counterspells would have to be stronger than his. Which means you're going to have to beat his rolls. It's that mechanically, because you have to roll if you're countering a spell higher than blah, blah, blah. And the one, he has one that he's saying is a special version of the spell that has additional effects beyond what's just in the PHB.
Counterspell is an ability check. Am I correct?
Yeah, and
There-
Seeker says, I can see him making a mistake.
Well, I can also give you a +5, so...
If you can think of a form of magic that can be used to incapacitate him, something that he would immediately attempt to counter, and then you counter his counter, I believe that would create enough of an opening that you can remove Lygus.
What actually? Because I don't know what level of spells the wizards actually have access to. Because I just got level 2 spells. Because I'm like a third. I'm not even a half caster. I'm over here in the 1/3 caster ghetto.
I have access to 4th level spells,
It's,
but I'm a warlock. I'm weird.
Who among
I'm
you
gonna
has
have
counterspell
second floor.
inscribed?
Sure
Just
don't.
Seeker?
I think it's just Seeker, yeah.
Okay.
'cause I think Florian wanted to copy it from a spellbook.
Well, you're a wizard. That's something you can still do.
yeah. We have time. We're literally walking down the road.
Yeah, I
Oh.
think if you're going to copy it, now's the time.
Okay.
We're on
Yeah,
this
the
boat.
materialist.
Well, you're not on the boat yet.
Okay.
Sounds like I need to learn me some counterspell.
Is there any so counter leak?
Are you thinking of like something we could use to incapacitate him?
Yeah, I was thinking hold person, but I don't.
I was
know
just going to polymorph him. Then we
That
put
would
him in a
work.
box and we bury him in the ocean.
Polymorph would
That- yeah, that
be
works-
A,
that
solid,
works.
a solid spell to do. Yes.
That works so well with the box. Put the box in the bottom of the ocean. I don't think a warlock will explode though, so that's probably
You,
good.
Lucius, do you want to learn the Skyrite or Magic Mouth rituals while we have downtime from my class?
Yeah. Magic Mouth, I could pick up. Yeah.
Oh, you can just get that from Florian.
Yeah.
So here's Vladislav's pitch. When you guys figure out how you want to incapacitate Lygus, what he will do, because you guys are planning to sneak into the city somewhere underwater, yes?
Yeah.
Mhm.
And you're going to hold up somewhere? Not on your
Yeah.
barge?
Yeah, that seems. Like
I
something we need to do.
think hold on. Let me check something and I will get back to you on the holding up thing real quick. So
Okay.
just keep talking.
But that's the general plan, yes?
Yeah.
Okay.
Mm,
What Vladislav says he will do is he will concoct a story where he encountered you on the road attempting to bring you back to Dunfoss in order to buy his way back into Skada's good graces, which he points out to Gus may be the truth. It might all be a trap. Ooh.
I'm just going to raise my eyebrows at him and shake my head.
Okay. So in this story, he will have fought you on the road, and you attempted to use against him whatever spell you plan to use against Lygus.
Mhm.
And of course, you can tell him about any other potential. I mean, you fought Skada before, so they already know some of your tricks. But the idea is he's going to go up there and give him an incomplete picture of what you are all going to do, but tell him specifically about the polymorph or whatever you're going to use to incapacitate him, to implant in Lygus the idea to attempt to counter that spell. What happens if he's able to counter it? For example, if Seeker casts polymorph and Lygus succeeds on the counterspell, Seeker will be polymorphed instead. The spell's not gone, it's turned against its caster.
Mm-hmm.
So that's the danger of this plan. However, if you counter his counter spell, the magic will be turned again back to him. And then he will be polymorphed after all.
What are we going to polymorph him into? I think that this is very important information.
A toad, it's fine.
A badger.
A badger.
Yeah, let's polymorph into something that can claw our eyes out.
Let's polymorph him into a moth. Let's find it. Let's find something with like an intelligence score of 1. And polymorph him into that. But okay.
I mean,
I was just going to
Secret
polymorph
spell
him into
says-
an octopus.
You don't want to polymorph him into something that's aquatic if you want to throw him in a box and then put him underwater to drown.
You definitely don't want to turn him into an octopus if you want to put him in a box.
He just picks the lock. Squeezes out.
I think a frog works. Just a toad.
I don't want to polymorph him into anything that can move. A fish, maybe?
Yeah, fish is a good one. A plant? Is a plant a creature?
No. It's not a mineral either.
What do we do we have a backup plan? Let's think. So basically, what are we just going to tell him that we have a super powerful polymorph spell that we're going to hit him with to incapacitate him?
Well, what Vladislav is going to say is, like, I hunted these guys down. I fought them on the road. They tried this polymorph trick against me, and I narrowly escaped with my life.
Okay.
And then he's going to feed them some information about... Essentially, you tell me where you want this showdown to take place, where you want to make this stand and fight at. And then he'll concoct the story to place Lygus in that place.
Where would the best place to have this showdown be? You guys.
You guys get to pick the where and the when.
All right. So what are we gonna do with him? Imagine that we have him polymorphed, we have him contained. What is our actual plan to do after?
Can you read his mind when he's polymorphed, or is he not going to have access to that?
It depends on how intelligent he is.
Blow the whistle on him. Get the get our ally inside the black jackets to undermine him.
Well, first thing we
Put him
need to
under
do
arrest.
is, I think if we're going to have a fight in the middle of Dunfoss, we need to have a fight in the middle of Dunfoss somewhere where the moss caps don't generally go. So that's probably Wharftown, maybe.
There are patrols in Wharftown.
I said generally. Like there's probably
Well,
places.
there are patrols in Wharftown. You have literally talked to the guys on patrol in Wharftown.
Well, yeah.
Yeah.
But I'm just saying, like, we need to probably go somewhere where there's not as because we're going to be flinging magic around and fighting, and he is technically the law, so we're technically breaking the law by doing this.
Mhm.
So
It's
we
true.
need to do it in a place we're not going to get seen. Do you think we could do it in the sewers in the
Why
White
not
Heart
the
District?
dungeon?
Yeah.
He has to see why not.
That seems like a good isolated place, and it would probably be easy to sell, like, that we're going back down there to look for more information on the whereabouts of the Warlocks, because that's the last, like, location we saw them previously.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, as far as Vladislav has informed you, Lygus doesn't even know you guys know he exists, because you didn't before Vladislav
Right.
told you.
Right.
Where's Scotta held up?
But yeah, we know where Scotta is.
Where?
I mean, not where Scotta, but we know about Scotta, so
I mean, I'm asking Vladislav where Scotta's actually.
Last he knows from when he was in Dunfoss, I mean, he left around the same time you guys did, but he imagines it's possible she resumed activities underground,
Mm-hmm.
but without directive from the Flying Pig, he doesn't know that for sure.
There was a way into the. It's tedious, but there were those cracks in the oubliettes that it is possible to get into that part of the sewers without ever going up on the surface. It's
You're
extremely
right.
tedious and tiring to do so.
It's true.
I don't know.
Didn't you spend some time and map one of those out?
Yeah, I believe I left a trail of pythons.
So that would connect down on the cliffs of
Yep.
Whiteheart, around here somewhere.
Yeah, under the underwater cliffs, you can make your way to one of the oubliettes and then get back up.
We can get the magic to. We can use my magic to get in there. No problem. Water breathing.
Is that the plan?
Yeah, can you put a fly on Scrappy as well as a water breathing? Oh, he doesn't need the water breathing actually, but
It only lasts for It only lasts for 10 minutes. So whatever flight. we
just
have
for the
to
hard
have-
section. I just don't want to have to carry him up the tunnels.
Okay.
I feel like you should get like a quick disassemble bolt for Scrappy, so you could take him apart and stick him in the bag of holding.
Oh wait, actually, he's probably a little bit too wide now. He's definitely too big to fit through the gap in the he would fit in the bag of holding if I could get him in there, and he doesn't need air, but need to get a portable hole.
What do you want, or what do you ask Vladislav to do about Skada? Do you how do you want this confrontation to happen? Do you want to confront both of them at the same time?
I'm not looking forward to more walls of fire.
What are the so what are you going to be doing during this? Are you going to side with us and help them, or help us fight them, or are you just not going to be there?
His plan is to go into Dunfoss, and there's any number of ways that he can make contact with Lygus. Like, he could commit some kind of minor magical crime and get some blackjackets sent out. And then once he's in front of Lygus, he will feed him the story that you guys decide on to arrange this confrontation.
And what does he do after that?
That is a good question, because it's possible that Lygus will do any number of things.
No, I mean, what does Vladislav plan to do?
That's what I mean, is Lygus might instruct him, like, all right, we're going to go fight these guys and you got my back. At which point, yeah, Vladislav will tell you that he won't attack you during that fight and he will betray Lygus. Sure, he tells you that. But it's also possible that Lygus, who was a very prideful man...
We'll put him in a cell and leave him there?
Yeah, there's any number of outcomes. As far as Vladislav
At
goes.
this point, I don't think we count on Vladislav for really anything, and for that, we're not gonna get an extra turret in this situation.
The benefit of Vladislav is you guys pick the where and when you want to confront Lygus.
I mean, we don't. It's just one of those things where it's like we don't really. I don't think. I think the only where requirement that I see is somewhere where we're not going to get, in the middle of the city where a bunch of civilians are going to be dragged into it, and we're going to be seen to be fighting somebody who is a member
And
of
we've
the
already kind of addressed that with doing it in the sewers beneath the Whiteheart district.
Mm-hmm.
We have the win there.
The win is probably just as soon as possible. Maybe.
Okay.
Yeah. So, in terms of preparation, Gus, go ahead and take +1 on your armor. I'm gonna get rid of the sending stone for today.
Okay.
Sure.
I give you your rock back.
That's pretty much all I got.
So where in the sewers do you want to have this confrontation? I must have deleted these maps, which is weird because I never delete maps. But I don't see
Somewhere
them.
that they can't get away easily aside from magic. Is there anywhere that's like the magic is suppressed or anything?
As to that, there's nowhere where they can't get away easily because they both have the ability to. I mean, they have warlock spells, so they've got Misty Step.
Yeah.
They probably have
Seeker raises a hand at that,
Mm-hmm.
and he says, So let me tell you about this spell that I just learned called Private Sanctum. He says, as long as you give me 10 minutes before they get here, they aren't teleporting out.
How long does that last?
A day.
Nice.
I can't believe I deleted these maps. Why would I delete these but not like Bicklebell House? Which I'm going to leave up here forever. Do you know where in the sewers you want to have this confrontation?
The big room where we had the previous confrontation with the lightning elemental seems fine.
I want something narrower with long lines of sight to shoot down.
Yeah, that's.
I think the area with the oubliettes, actually.
I want
Yeah.
wide open spaces where we can't be AoE'd to death by walls of fire.
Mm.
How
So
high is the wall of fire? 20 feet?
20 feet, I think so.
Is there anything where...
Do any of you actually know the spell?
No.
Then you don't have to answer the question without research.
Because this was This was
Yeah.
at the end, if I recall correctly. There was like hidden things, but they were.
Yeah. You're right. This is probably the best place to do it. Looks like I could get up on top of the area with the chains and have a lot of lines of fire. I mean, the biggest thing is I don't want anyone escaping
5, 10, 15, 20,
the way out.
30, 30.
Remember, it was about 20 feet from the upper ledge to the lowest point. This is like a large, like a bowl, like it's been scooped out.
Right.
So it's got this long slope down. You don't have to climb down. It's got this long slope that you can make your way down. And in the center of the room is where you originally met Vladislav.
No, he was on the other one. This is not the one we met Vladislav.
No, this is it.
This is where you guys met Vladislav.
Oh, okay. It's like 150 feet wide.
Yeah, so I can get us the middle 100.
Yeah, in the center.
With
How does that spell work? I have
Private Sanctum. I
Yeah.
need 10 minutes. Let me just read to you guys the spell. It's a cube that can be as small as 5 feet to as large as 100 feet on the side. So we do 100 feet aside. Spell lasts for the duration or until you use an action to dismiss it. You decide what sort of security the spell provides. Sound doesn't pass the edge. The barrier is dark and foggy. Sensors created by divination spells can't appear inside the area. Creatures inside the area can't be targeted by divination spells. Nothing can teleport in or out, and planar travel is blocked. I'm thinking we do nothing can teleport in or out, and planar travel is blocked.
do you get any or all of these?
Yeah, any or all.
Okay, because
Okay, so you can't
I do
leave
want
out
to
the
draw
dark
your attention
smokiness.
that the last two bullet points are different things. Teleportation and planar travel are not the same thing.
Yeah, that's why I want both.
Okay.
And they're listed on there as a different thing.
Yes.
The dark smokiness is likely to make him skittish. Just saying.
That's why I'm saying teleport in or out and planar travel. We take both of those.
Shut down divination inside the area too, unless that turns you off.
See, I don't want to shut that down because I want them to divine us, see, hey, they're standing exactly where they said they were, and feel confident coming in.
So, keeping in mind that Lygus is a black jacket, which means he does have the ability to detect magic. So he'll know that you have a spell up in the area unless you find a way to disguise it, or if you even have the means to do that.
How about this, then? How do you guys like the sounds of nothing can teleport in or out, planar travel is blocked, sound can't pass through the barrier? He comes in and I say, you brought the black jackets with you and we don't want to incriminate ourselves.
So are you doing this under the guise of like you guys are turning yourselves into the black jacket in a place where there's not going to be any spectacle? Is that the story that you want to feed Vladislav?
Yeah, that's actually a good one because like we don't know this guy exists supposedly, right? Like, but we want it. We're planning on reaching out to the black jackets and passing some information along, that some nebulous information.
Oh, Seeker is technically a wanted criminal, so he
Yeah,
could actually
rather
be-
than turning ourselves in, why don't we say we're calling him in to clear our names?
Right. We've got new information or something.
We have information on what's actually causing the problem. It's this fiend, and we want to set up a contact.
Okay.
And then
I like it.
Yeah.
like Yeah.
Okay. Is that the extent of the plan?
I've got. Let's see. I'm gonna hit everybody with an aid. So go ahead and add 5 hit points. But that's the only other thing I've got.
Let's make this.
And
How more
before we go in there, I want to be sure. So we teleport, we polymorph him. He turns into a kipper. What's our immediate plan after that?
We need a box. We need a lead box, Alexander.
I don't think I have a lead box. I have one back on the ship.
Can we message our receptionist, whose name I forget, Miss Linda. Yeah, can we message Linda and ask her to bring us a lead box? Like,
she can't come down to this place.
not down here. We just meet her in town somewhere. We have her drop it off at a bar.
Wait, we just put him in the bag.
Yeah, we put him in the bag until he suffocates. There you go.
If he's a fish, he's gonna suffocate either way.
Right.
Well, that's why I'm thinking we need to deal with the problem really fast. I think the bag is an excellent solution. We get him in the bag, we call it a day.
Yeah, we check on him in a week or two.
So, mechanically, to pull this plan off, there's 2 important checks. First, you need to pass the ability check to counters his counterspell.
Uh-huh.
And then second, you need to make sure he fails the saving throw against the polymorph. Are we leaving all that to chance? Are we planning on
no, I don't
spending
leave
blips,
anything to chance. Let me read to you guys what my numbers were for the day. 3 and 5.
I've got a +5 for your ability check to counterspell.
Yep.
I think I can only augment my own checks. I don't think I can augment someone else's.
Unfortunately for this endeavor, I have 0 blips, so I have nothing to add.
I could throw blips at it.
Yep. I was gonna say I'll throw blips at it, but then I was like, oh wait, I spent all my blips.
You'll need to be within 30 feet of me, Seeker.
That's fine.
Okay, let's go ahead and take our break here then. While you guys get mentally prepared for the big boss fight. Let me find Elizagirth and put her on screen.
Do you think we could also lure Skada down here?
Oh wait, are we fighting
separately?
Big Boss?
Do you want to fight them both at once?
No. Like, separately. Can we lure Skada down here separately?
We'll
do
see
the
how
same
that goes.
One nonsense plan at a time, Treble, please.
I feel like this is a really good plan we could use several times. Turn the enemy into a fish, throw them into the bag of holding, check on them.
I feel like every single time we use this plan, the chance of it succeeding goes down.
Yes.
So let's take a 15-minute break. Let's reconvene at about 5:25.